Well, just before 4:30 this morning here in Epping, we started to receive numerous 000 calls to a building on fire and a person trapped within that building. And our first arriving crews did find a fire well developed in the commercial premises on the second level of the 2-level building. And they did get reports that there was someone trapped there, and our first initial crews that went in, even though there was a very well developed fire, got into the building on fire and found one male in the building and removed him and handed him to police. Apparently he's in a very critical condition, and CPR was carried out on scene here, and he's been transported to Royal North Shore Hospital. It took probably a good hour to get the fire under control, because apparently there is a very large number of nylon backpacks within the building, which took a bit of extinguishing from our firefighters. Well, fortunately it was contained to the premises, which it seems to be a mixed occupancy of offices and maybe a dance studio. And fortunately it didn't spread to the neighbouring building on the right-hand side. But our crews did find a number of flats, residential flats at the rear of the other building, and did remove approximately about 4 people from there, and they were quite safe.
It would have been quite a dangerous situation for firefighters to just go in to try and save this man's life.
Yeah, I've got to commend my first arriving crews from Beecroft and Eastwood. They did an excellent job in getting into the building and getting up the stairs under very trying conditions and finding that person as quickly as possible and removing them. At the moment, our fire investigation team and police forensics will be coming to the fire to investigate, but very early stages, we have no idea how the fire started at this stage. No, he was unconscious, and CPR had to be commenced immediately on him. No, it's very early days. We haven't had any our fire investigators or even myself get up there yet to have a look and see if we can find where it may have started and what possibly caused it. Well, lucky there was probably double brick walls there, which prevented the fire spreading through. So they did their job in holding the fire into the premises which was on fire.
Some of the residents that live around the buildings that they woke up to a smoke alarm. Could that potentially save lives?
I understand neighbouring unit blocks in the area, because of the amount of smoke on scene in the early stages of the fire, did set off 1 or 2 automatic fire alarms in neighbouring buildings, so that did alert people, but they were in no danger at all.
Yeah, look, I'd just like to commend the work of the crews that arrived. I was chatting with the firefighters that were first on scene, and they talked about how difficult it was to access the property. The entrance to the level 2 where the fire was from a door on the side of the building, so they had to go down the laneway and then up a small staircase and then gain entry into the compartment where the fire was. And so they actually had to force that door open, and they made entry in the bottom part of the door, so they had to crawl under the bottom half of the door to get in, to then start their firefighting. And the fire was very well developed by the time they got into that room, and the person was at the far end of that room. So they had a really challenging set of circumstances to work with, a lot of debris on the ground, all the material that was stored in that room. They had to work their way through and over that to get to the person, then grab him and carry him out, and then get him out to safety where they could start CPR. So it was a very challenging set of circumstances. No, they had to bring him back out the way they'd come in, so they were able then to follow their hose line out, but just all the material that was in the room, that was adding to the fire load, but also makes moving around in that room. You can imagine how there's a fire burning, but there's also a lot of smoke, and the visibility is very low. Look, the firefighters are going well. These types of incidents are exactly what our firefighters train for, but it does add that extra level of stress and complexity to them when they arrive. When people are reporting they could hear someone screaming out for help upstairs, that obviously heightens the emotions, and they really switch into gear and hook in and do their work. But they're very conscious of what this means, and the threat to life that's occurring and the vital role that they're playing. And so talking with the firefighters, they were very comfortable. They've been able to do their best possible efforts. They deployed a very quick fire attack and were able to reach this gentleman very quickly and get him back out to clean air, and then start the process of CPR with him as quickly as possible. Well, look, it's a really, we'll find out more as the investigation unfolds through the course of the day, but bottom line, particularly in the middle of winter, is just reinforcing the importance of smoke alarms. Wherever anyone is sleeping, there should be a smoke alarm on that level. Ideally, even have a smoke alarm in each bedroom if possible. So The value of smoke alarms is that they wake people up when they're asleep. They won't wake up from the smell of the smoke, but they will wake up from the noise of a smoke alarm. And so a working smoke alarm is the best defence anyone can have against a fire.